Steady erosion of its influence. The abuse scandals arguably have jolted the organisation's moral authority. So what is next for the Catholic Church? I want to discuss that with Frank Butler. He is the head of the National Roundtable on Church Management in the US and a man who is acutely aware of the challenges that the Church faces. Frank, we thank you for being with us tonight. Let's be blunt. Sexual abuse is an horrific act and surely cannot be condoned by any organisation, let alone the Catholic Church.
I would agree with you. We are in the States making great progress on this issue. The Church in the United States has put into place an enormous structure to prevent future abuse. I think it's mobilized the laity across the country to get involved, more involved with their church. We're trying to do something rather unique in the area of church management and finance. We have volunteers from the business sector, the nonprofit sector, and we're trying to build up a culture of excellence in the management of church institutions. So we have something that we could share with other churches throughout the world who have encountered this problem.
And you are in a region where, of course, numbers we know are dwindling, as they are in Europe, Asia and Africa. We see a growth in the number of Catholics around the world, in that region. How much resistance do you face as someone charged with the better management of the church? And I'm talking about internally here.
Well, I think it's a new era in the sense that in the past we've had many more religious. We've had priests and sisters who have operated our institutions. Now they're being managed by lay people, people with not the same degree of background. And some of that is positive, some of that is not so positive. We need to school a lot of people in the mission of the church. It is difficult to do, but we're seeing that transformation occur. The changes that are occurring in the United States have to do more with the demographics, shifts of Catholics from the north of the United States to the south of the United States. So the growth in the Catholic Church in the United States is in the southern regions and the western regions at the moment.
The demands that the Church face, it seems to me, are fairly simple. There are demands for modernization. There are demands to end the era of celibacy, although I know that that is challenged by the Vatican and indeed the Pope himself globally. Given the challenges that the Church faces at this point, where do you think the future of the Catholic Church lies?
I'm actually very upbeat on the future of the Catholic Church. We're having enormous growth in the States, mostly because of the Hispanic immigration. There's a lot of vitality. We're still a very young religion. We have 65 million Roman Catholics in the United States. So I'm very upbeat about its growth and influence. It is a very massive institution and not likely to change. Where I think the challenge is at the moment is connecting with younger Catholics. Generally speaking, the studies that have been done across the board of all religions shows that there is not the kind of connection with the millennial Catholics that there has been in the past. They're 1 out of 4 of that generation, those born from 1980 forward, have no connection with the Church.
And you make a very interesting point, and very briefly, my last question to you then is this. If you were addressing the younger population that you were hoping to engage with the Catholic Church tonight, what would you say to them, and why ought they to join?
I'd say, without a doubt, that the Church is the largest charity in the entire world, and if they could see the panoramic work that it does in human rights and in just the humanitarian care alone, it would move them terribly. We do 1/4 of the hospital patients in the United States are treated through Catholic facilities. We take care of the poor. We take care of the poor in our education system. It is a fantastic institution. Unfortunately, when scandals break, the focus is upon that, and it is discouraging for many people. But if they could understand what this institution does, I think that would draw them and draw their hearts.
Frank, I appreciate your time, as do our viewers this evening. We thank you for that, and let's speak again. Frank Butler for you tonight.